What is up, everybody? So I'm gonna go over the go bags, the bug out bags, whatever terminology you use. I apologize in advance. These are going to be probably lengthy videos and a lengthy series for the Go Bug Out Bag series. I just wanted to kind of share my thought process, how I'm wrapping my brain around how it works for me and my family. It may not work for everybody, and that's okay. Every situation is different. Everyone lives in different areas and whatnot. Everyone has different needs. So what works for one won't work for all, but we can feed off of each other's ideas and help each other become better at it. I want to thank everyone for the likes and the subs. Please continue to like and sub the videos. I really appreciate it. If you're not subbed yet, please. It's free, but it really helps me grow. We're ticking down on that percentage of how many people watch my videos versus how many are actually subbed. So I'd like to, again, like I said in a past video, I'd like to break the algorithm here. So I don't have a bug out bag. I have mini bags, mini go bags, and it's part of a system. And the system is tiered. And that's kind of what we're going to go over today. And I figure I'd break out the whiteboard, share some of my thoughts and how the tier system works for me and my family. And then we would go over a couple of the bags real quick. So, like I said, tiered system. And mine is going to start with our car, right? Car is where it's going to start. That's the biggest one. All of these can fit in the car. And the car has many things that lends to this system. It has solar. It has a fridge. It has its own set of tools. It has its own shelter system. So it lends to all these. And the cool thing about starting with a vehicle is it's going to get you the furthest, the quickest, right? So from there, it's going to drop down, and we're going to have a couple of big bags. We actually have 2 of those, and then from there, it's going to go down into smaller and smaller bags. So then we have, so the big it will consist of, and I don't remember the name of that one, so we're just going to call it the duffel. And then it's going to be the Rush 100 and the Rush 72 below that, and then the 24, then the EDC, then the fanny pack. So 2 big ones are the duffel and the 100, and then we tick down from there. So that's where we're at. Okay. Now the cool thing is each one of these feed off of and into the other. So this one can go into this one. This becomes its own smaller system, and then each of these will have similarities in the contents. So each one will have varying degrees of first aid, varying degrees of survival stuff. So as these all feed together, all of these can then fit in the car. And then as things happen, if it's something really, really bad and things do go downhill, then the car may drop off, and then the duffel may, you know, but each one of us can carry so much for so long, and so on and so forth. So let's look at these real quick. So we're going to start with what is pretty much the biggest, I would say. Although the Rush 100 is a monster of a bag, this big duffel, which I've done videos about these, this big monster right here, this is what I'm calling the family kit. So this is going to have blankets and hygiene and stuff like that, all for the family. It's not going to contain just for one person. This one is going to be, it's going to be heavy. It does have backpack straps, but this is the one that's going to go in the back of the vehicle and have most of the stuff for if we have to go to a hotel or someplace like that, because it's a situation where we just have to leave our home for a period of time. From there, now we're looking at the Rush 100 hiking backpack. This has its own set of benefits. It does have a really nice waist belt that goes on it. The suspension system here is adjustable and all that good stuff. I added another little pack on the side here. This one's not loaded out yet. If you've seen my other videos, you know I have the box of possibility, and we're going through stuff, and we're going to start loading these out. But I wanted to go over the bags first. Now, interesting enough, you can see the difference in the greens. This is a Gen 1 Rush 72 versus the new green on the new bags. This one was gifted to me. The others I purchased. Not from 511, by the way. So the 72, it's another fairly substantial bag. It'll hold a lot of stuff. It will be its own kit as if we have to drop down and go from there. And then we will end up, excuse me, into the Rush 24, a much more manageable size bag. So this would be probably what my wife carries, what my son carries, what I carry, and then my daughter will have another bag if it comes to that. That's the thing. You don't know where you're gonna land in a scenario where you need this stuff. So that's why I like a tiered system. We don't necessarily have to take all of this with us. It depends on the scenario. But if they're all ready, we throw them, we go, and we've got them. So from down from those, we come into the EDC style stuff. So an even smaller bag. This is the one I carry since I got it. This has been my EDC backpack. It's got its own set of stuff in it. And then what goes inside of it is even smaller. The Helicon Tex Possum waist pack. I'll link as much of the stuff as I can down below. Some of the stuff you may have to find it on the website. So this rides in that EDC backpack. But in the event I need to scale down even further, I can just sling this and go from there. Doesn't have to be a fanny pack. You can use whatever you want. I just like this. I actually bought this purpose driven for a trip out to California to the coast, and I mean, it worked exactly for what I needed it to. This holds everything I need for, you know, just something really quick. It's not going to have all the survival stuff I need, but it'll hold all of my basic stuff and keep it close to my body, you know, so I can put stuff in here that I need to have with me just in case. And it has its own little first aid kit in it as well. But as it goes, of course, the first aid and the survival stuff will gain substantially in what the capabilities are. So, you know, you go from a boo-boo kit to a larger boo-boo kit to a trauma kit to a full-blown trauma kit to, you know, an even bigger trauma and boo-boo kit, you know, whatever is needed or could be needed that we can think of and fit in there. You know, each one will have its own hygiene style stuff. So, you know, the family kit is going to have hygiene stuff for the entire family. And then, you know, from there, it's going to scale to different things, and we can have different things in each one of these. And one or two of these will have backpacking tents, and then the other ones will have, you know, tarps for tarp shelters and stuff like that. You know, but the thing is, you got to plan and prep for the likely scenarios, right? Now, you want to be prepared for the big stuff, but you don't want to be prepared for that and completely miss the little stuff that's happening in your own backyard. You know, as it stands right now, you know, it's a buzz all over the interwebs. You know, we got a lot of people, a lot of millionaires and billionaires and what have you, you know, building bunkers, and we've got FEMA lists and CDC lists and all this stuff coming out. You know, everyone kind of knows that it's kind of a volatile situation out there right now. It could be absolutely nothing, but even a freak storm that blows through can cause you to need to leave for a little while. I mean, it just happened over in Japan. They've had a lot of stuff going on, you know, with that earthquake and then the big waves and all that stuff. You know, I showed my kids, we did a little diagram on the whiteboard, and I showed them, you know, the big thing may not happen right where you're at, but that big thing may spark a trail of things happening that gets up really close to you and still makes you have to leave. So that's where this stuff comes into play. And I'm being a little more diligent in packing these out this time. It's taken longer than I really should be taking to do so, but I want them to be purpose built, and I want them to be extremely useful. You know, like this one, the hiking bag setup, I want that to where I can grab this if we're just gonna go camping. It doesn't have to be a total situation where, oh my God, we gotta bug out. It's, hey, let's go down to a wildlife place that has, you know, camping, and all I gotta do is grab this bag and we take off. We add the other stuff. A lot of the stuff will already be, you know, in the car or whatever, but, you know, we grab a food bag and go. Everything's already in here. Everything's ready to rock and roll. So I don't know that I'm going to use all 4 of these larger bags for the setup, but these are the ones that are in the mix. It's kind of interesting. Probably not that interesting to anyone who watches my channel and knows me, that all of these 4 bags are all 511, but they make good gear. I've looked into some other packs, and I'm not saying that there might not be other packs that get added to the mix a little bit here and there, but for right now, the actual big go bags are 511 bags. And then I've been watching a lot of videos on weight reduction. There's a lot of great channels out there that talk about weight reduction in your go bag, because these bags are definitely not light. They're not crazy heavy, but they're definitely not light. But I don't plan on through hiking with one of these bags. You know, me and my family aren't going to strap these on and plan on walking our way into prosperity 2,000 miles away or anything like that. More realistically, they're going to be utilized to go somewhere else for a period of time. May have noticed I haven't mentioned inch bag, the I'm never coming home bag, because honestly, if it's an inch bag, it should just be called a moving bag, because you're not, at that point you're moving. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not a valid point. I'm just saying at that point you're moving. And I don't want to hinge, you know, moving out of a single bag. No one does. But even an inch bag typically has the same stuff. So that's why I don't get too in the woods on all that, because it's kind of all hinged around the same basic principle. So it's tiered. It goes up. It goes from an EDC, on-person small bag EDC, to a backpack, and then into much larger packs that will hold more sustainment items. These are all really sustainment bags. I'm not going to get into personal protection and stuff in here. I don't want that kind of attention. I have that, but I'm not going to display it for the old YT algorithms, if you know what I mean. So yeah, the bags. So in future videos coming up, we will be loading these out. I'm not sure which direction we will go, as far as if we're going to do like the big family bag first and then get into the smaller personal go bag last. I don't know. We will figure that out. It's kind of all just coming together as I go through the year. So yeah, that's my philosophy on this. I do not think that it is a single bag option. Not for a family. Honestly, even for an individual, I don't think you should hold yourself to a single bag. I think you should have multiple bags, and then as you just can't do it anymore, you just keep scaling down the size of what you're carrying until it's something you're comfortable with. Because again, our plan isn't to grab these and go live out in the wilderness. Our plan is to grab these and go somewhere else for a period of time until we know what our next plan will be, because you don't know what exactly you're planning for until it happens. All right, until the next one, take care.